There have been many famous zombies throughout history. Solomon Grundy, Rob, Mitt Romney, but it's all come down to this: World War Z. That's right, I said Z. And if my American brothers and sisters have a problem with that, well, you can take it up with England, because they invented the language. Actually, technically it was Germany that invented the language, but I wouldn't mention it. My viewers will be familiar with one of the real school mottos, which is, a movie is just a book you don't have to work for. That's usually because there's one of two things that happens when you adapt a novel into a film. You either pull a Peter Jackson and are too devout to the original material, or you don't. I was surprised to see that World War Z was the latter. It didn't feel like a true adaptation of the novel for a lot of reasons. That's very important to address, just because of the sheer amount of talent that went into writing this movie. Max Brooks has proven he's just as creative as his father, if not a better writer, with his novels World War Z and, of course, The Zombie Survival Guide. On top of that, prolific sci-fi guru J. Michael Straczynski helped write the story, and Damon Lindelof and Drew Goddard helped write the screenplay. This is a sci-fi writing A-team. In the last 4 years alone, they've written Thor, Lost, and Cabin in the Woods. Some of the best fantasy, sci-fi, and horror out there in Hollywood today. But it brought up one interesting question. Where was all the fantasy, sci-fi, and horror in this film? There were a few issues coming into this film even before production began. The first, the studios wanted to make the film PG13, for what I can only assume is to reach a wider audience. The next issue comes from inconsistent director Mark Forster. Granted, he started off strong with Monsters Ball, Finding Neverland, and one of my personal quirky favorites, Stranger Than Fiction. Recently, though, he's made Machine Gun Preacher, which is as good as it sounds, and what I consider to be one of the messiest Bonds of all time. Well, surely there's enough talent in the pool to bring Brooks' zombie vision to undead life. Oh, Max, I was hoping that your dad could tell you not to sell out, but I guess we all know what Brooks rhymes with. I'm only kidding. They are both very talented men and both very good at what they do. And Max really did bring the zombie genre back from the dead. His novels brought a new approach to these stories, told them in a very intelligent way, and even brought in a little of the family wit. None of that transferred to the film. Perhaps the novel is too difficult to adapt. It does lend itself to a certain style of film, more of a documentary war style. So simply following UN worker Jerry Lane, played by Brad Pitt, seemed to really oversimplify things. Granted, World War Z did have that global feel that the novel had as well, by sending Lane on a worldwide search to find clues on how the outbreak started, and perhaps even a cure. But I felt that's as close as we get to the novel. If you've read it, then you're probably already thinking, why in the book are they traditional slow zombies, and in the movie, it looks like a Black Friday sale? Brooks has gone on record as saying that he is a traditionalist, which I respect. But when footage of World War Z was released, he then went on to say, I understand fast zombies are more cinematic, and more exciting to watch in movies. Which is basically Hollywood talk for cha-ching! I do have to say, though, that these zombies, in a film that otherwise doesn't take any chances with the genre, were fairly interesting to watch. The sheer number of zombies was awe-inspiring, but then you've got them climbing on one another, shoving, running through glass, and launching themselves like rabid lemmings. That unbridled animalistic energy was sorely needed in most of this film. But for showing me something that I hadn't really seen in a zombie film before, the Z in World War Z is this episode's for the win. But even that wasn't fantastic. The animation seemed a little subpar, and it really took you out of the movie and made you even less afraid of the zombies. I equate it to The Matrix Reloaded, where you see Neo fighting all those Smiths. You watch it and you kind of think to yourself, that ain't Hugo. And I say even less afraid of the zombies because there's no horror in this film. These zombies fly in, bite somebody, and move on. No evisceration, no disemboweling, no braining. These were like the Real Housewives of Zombieland. Oh, I couldn't possibly eat anymore. I'm just so fat. Aside from wasting zombies, they also wasted great character actors like Matthew Fox and David Morse, who both were in roles that were really just thrown away. Morse specifically was really just a plot device, just some random prisoner, right place, right time, who was only there to tell Jerry the next country he needed to go to. And that pretty much sums up the film. It wasn't really a zombie film. It was more like an episode of Where in the World is Zombie San Diego? For the amount of talent brought in to write this, and the amazing source material they already had, cinematically they just didn't take any chances whatsoever with an already very well established genre. It basically felt like they were establishing the mythology, like it was the pilot episode of a TV series. And that doesn't necessarily make a good film. And so it made this a burn it. Poll question, and this is only a 50-50 choice. What do you prefer? Slow or fast zombies? As always, leave your answers in the comment section below. But until next time, oh my god, I've been robbed! No, not quite. Alright, so I'm moving. It's very exciting, but sad to say it's the last episode of Real School I will be filming on this set in my apartment. I'm a homeowner now, or at least a home co-owner, so there will be a brand new Real School set, which is very exciting, but it may take a little time to get set up. I'm not sure where I want to film. In the meantime, in the next few weeks, you can look forward to Real School on the road. I'm going to pick a different location, do my reviews and my videos, so it'll be very exciting and quirky and all the things you've come to love about Real School. Is that not a depressing sight? Jeez, I'm not even partway done. But anyways, until next time, until the new set, stay tuned, you never know where I'm gonna end up. And school's out.